Hello, my name is Aquila Bey, PhD, and I'm the Chairman, President, and CEO of Federation for Law and Government, a private nonprofit organization, and its subsidiaries. The subsidiary we're going to discuss today is D.M.H. Public Transportation Watch. If you need to, you can call 1-872-529-2009. Again, 1-872-529-2009. You may fax 1-312-488-2646. Our alternate number that you can text is 1-773-893-0515, as well as, of course, leave a message. I'm trying to make sure that everyone understands that D.M.H. Public Transportation Watch is out there trying to get the Black American people to be more African American. Now, you may have heard of the videos that I've had out there, but it's very important that Black people stop blaming the white man, the green man, the purple man, and the orange man. And the reason why I keep saying it is because when I go up and down CTA red line, and I go up and down CTA green line, and I go up and down CTA blue line, and so forth and so on, the Black people don't want to work. And so when Black kids are growing up watching Black people not work, and then when they get fired or disciplined, they don't want to say, you know what, I was trained by CTA to do this job, and I failed to do it, I'm going to accept my punishment. They don't say that. They say it's the white man's fault that he won't let me play on my cell phone. It's the white man's fault that during rush hour, I don't want to stand outside and greet customers. It's the white man's fault. This is what we have been hearing since this organization separated from Federation for Law and Government as a subsidiary. And it's sick and it's sad because our kids are now running around with their heads up their behinds, thinking that they can do anything. Why? Because you lied to them and they know you're a liar. They know you're a deceiver. And instead of you just looking in the mirror and say, guess what? I'm lying to the community every day when I tell them that it's okay for me to be in front of you and another African-American brother or sister or whatever and be on my cell phone. And then when I get disciplined, I'm blaming a white man. But now just think about how these kids watch you on your cell phone on the job. Now they feel that when they get a job, they don't deserve to be disciplined. Because when they go to the union or they go to the supervisor and they say, hey, you didn't punish Rodney. Rodney's the Black guy that's been on the job for 10 years, not doing his job. But now that I finally got a job at CTA, you're writing me up. That's mean of you. Why didn't you write Rodney, the Black guy, up who's been on the job 10 years? Oh, incidentally, he said it's the white man who got him in trouble that first time. When I'm out there, the Blacks are the enemy of goodwill. The Blacks are the enemy to our own people, because it is sad that I can go out there and say, how come you won't help the customer? Black senior citizens trying to get on 63rd and the Green Line, and 4 of you in there giggling and giggling and cackling and giggling, and this senior citizen who's Black, who paved the way for your Black butt not to be in slavery today, you won't go out and help the Black woman needing your help to get to her medical appointment. That's sad, ain't it? It's sad. We want to blame the white man for everything, but we don't want to accept that we're the troublemakers. We don't want to accept that we're raising our children in a society where they're getting killed based on stupidity. Now, we just got through with the Van Dyke, and we're so happy that he got found guilty. Oh my God, oh goodness. But you know what? The boy would be alive if you all had the integrity and the dignity as people who are public servants to do what's right. It's nothing wrong with saying, according to CTA policy, the gate needs to be closed. There are no free rides. Instead of saying, I'm gonna leave the gate open because I'm too damn lazy to lock it. So now when I'm writing you up, you wanna complain, curse me out. Again, we're talking about an employee who has to give customer service assistance, who feels that because I'm not hiding in the dark, I'm not dialing the 1-800 number on you and saying, please, confidentiality. No, I'm letting people know on our forms who I am and what you're doing wrong because I am with these kids every day that are smoking blunts before they get to school. Your kids that you're too scared of. And yet you want the so-called white man to not be scared of them, but you're scared of them. I get on the red line train. The black boys lighting up blunts while your 4-year-old and 6-year daughter standing next to you. You think black girl wants to say anything to that black man because black man has been taught that fear is respect. And you treat them that way because you put your eyes down like a little slave and well, my child can smell the blunt all day, and well, that black man over there, I'm just gonna let him treat me wrong and just whatever. But as soon as he hits that tunnel, oh dear God, is he acting right now because he knows that the taxpayer, which is not him or you, because we know you're mostly on public aid and you don't want to get off of it. It's one thing to get on it and you want to strive to get off it. See, there's a difference. There's an African American woman, there's an African American man, and then there's the black man and there's the black woman. And this is what happens when CTA employees can't do their job because they're on their cell phones. So now the black woman is saying, oh, I need to continue to be black. Why should I strive to be an African American? Why? Why strive if this black girl can have a job at CTA? No matter how much I get paid, no matter how much of a penniless job you think it is, you have a job, and you're saying the white man owes me this job. It's great, 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 great grandma was a slave, and we didn't get our 1,000 mule and an acre, and so I'm gonna preach that to my kids growing up, and now they don't want to go to school, and when they go to school, they're playing games, they're beating up on each other, and they're doing all these things, and it's all your fault. But for some reason, we find ways to say it's the white man's fault. And until we start saying, hey, you know what? I work for CTA. And CTA tells me that I have an instruction manual. Now, this is only part of the instruction manual. This is part of it that I overview. There's 300 or 400 pages to the total rule. And even though you may think $7, $8, $10, $15 an hour and you don't like it and blah, 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 that's on you. My job as a private nonprofit organization is to tell you the truth. And the truth is black people are the most dangerous people on earth. They're always talking about the Mexican cartels and all this. At least they're organized. Blacks are not. You check 20 years ago, you had GDs, BDs, vice lords. Now you got 16 different branches running around fighting each other. They're not fighting the white man, the green man, the purple man, the orange man. They're fighting each other. And you, the mother, can't do anything about it. You're scared of your son. You go to work every day and you let all the black people see you miserable because you're scared of your kids. You're scared to do your job right. So now all the kids are growing up saying, well, gee, you've been saying it's the white man. I'm going to use the white man as an excuse too when I get this job. So I'm going to go to work with my pants over my behind. I'm going to go to work with my shirt untucked. I'm going to go to work with my breath stinking. I'm going to go to work smell like blunts. These are black men and women, and no black community organizer is doing anything about it. Black Lives Matter isn't saying nothing. It's like we've had, 800 murders 3 years ago, 700 2 years ago. We have all these murders, and Black Lives Matter is too busy saying, well, the 4-year-ago shooting, and we're waiting on another white man to do something wrong to the black guy, and then we're going to complain because it's okay for black people to kill black people. So that's why these kids are running around beating on each other, hurting each other, being disorganized, being unorganized, and it's all because of you. So when you talk about how I'm out there and you're angry with me, I'm angry with you. I'm angry with that because our black American boys are not striving to be African American boys because it doesn't take anything for you to do the simple things on this 5-sheet of paper. Now, for all you people that did not understand anything I said because I rambled, great. I'll give it to you like this. If an employee for CTA is not doing their job, it is my job as a community organizer, a community leader, and a man that is not going to sit there and continue to blame everybody else for your faults. There are no so-called white men on 63rd and Cottage Grove not helping additional black men and women who need help getting on the train. And it's sad that we're not standing up saying, damn, G, you know, hey, bro, you in that bubble right there. Grandma here got to get to the hospital. We hate each other so much. Black people hate each other so much that they're not willing to stick together on that. You're not willing to look in the bubble at 63rd and King Drive, 63rd and Cottage Grove and say, aren't you supposed to be on your post? Instead, you're thinking, damn, keep on being on your cell phone, Nick. So when I get old enough and I apply for CTA and I get that job, I can do the same thing you doing. So I'm gonna let you slide. But then there's a flip side. Sometimes you come to the CVM and that same person you said, do whatever you want, be on your cell phone all day. He's on his cell phone and you mad because you can't get to your job. Now it's a flip. You liberal, Democrat, bullshit ass black people are just mentally screwed up in the head. And I've been doing this for years, just going up and down the green line, up and down the red line, and watching how loose squares, blunts, and everything is, you know, it's ridiculous on how you can't even, the hardworking American, African-American woman and man during rush hour can't go to work without 7 or 8 black men running through the train cars talking about loose squares. And all of the hardworking blacks are so scared, they won't even dial 911 or 311 and say, hey, I'm trying to get to work. I'm trying to get a civil time at the job. More and more people are transferring to Metro so that the fares can be raised at CTA because the enemy, the black man, is on CTA. And I think if you, CTA personnel, would do your job, you have cameras. It's not like you have to actually engage. All you have to do is get on your little phone, no smoking on the platform, and once you see they're still smoking, log it and make a phone call and let the police, with their lazy selves, they're lazy only because you've made them lazy. You can't blame the Chicago police for anything. You have to look at what you've created. It's always us against them, us against them. But if you would partner with them and do what's right, maybe society would be a little bit better. This is what I'm talking about. So when all you people get up and say, you know what, I don't think the organization should exist, you know what, that's an overkill, you know, it's so what overkill? The overkill is that since the Democrat has had Chicago, he's told you so dumb, he's told you to your face that he's gonna hire every illegally immigrant for a job and you won't have nothing. And black people are sitting there with their butt up there behind, like their butts, their heads up in their butts, and it's like, what does he say? But did he say what now? Well, as long as he offered me food stamps, then, you know, I'll go ahead and take $200 a month in food stamps over $10 an hour. Because $10 an hour ain't no money. There ain't no money. $10 an hour ain't no money. That $200 in food stamps, that's some money. See, that's how stupid you are. And you think the German, the Italian, the Russian, there's 165 different races in the city of Chicago, and they all know black people are nothing. You're always at the low totem pole. The only time you got good jobs out there for all the black men is now during voting season. Want to put them on the ballot? And you need ballots on the ballot, everybody, ballot, we'll do ballot. Y'all out there got a job for 3 weeks, and then after that, you ain't got no job. You think that's wonderful, because why? You can run to the aid office and get on some food stamps. Go on, Mexican, go on, get that job. Illegal immigrant, go on, get that. I'm going to keep voting for the Democrat, because the Democrat going to give me some freebies. But they run the freebies. They cut them off when they want to. They cut them on when they want to. They make you go and fill out paperwork for 2-3 hours. They make you sit down, and you like that. That's your day. And it's aggravating because there should be more African-American men out there that know more than gangster rappers. I offer $1,000 sometime. I go out there on the train and I say, hey, bro, since you're out here doing all this, I'll give you $1,000 right now. You can name 3 major influence people besides a gangster rapper and a musician. Can't tell you. Yet in the city of Chicago, the chancellor of the Chicago University Hospital is an African-American man. See, our children are growing up with stupid parents, scared parents, and parents that don't want to stand up and say, you know what, I need to stop blaming the white man, because when I get 60 years old, my child's going to be 28, 29, 30 years old, and I'm going to need him maybe one day to help me. I don't want him to be a crutch on me when I receive my pension. 4 and 5 kids living in the house. See, that's what it comes out. You're not thinking of what you're causing. And this is why I'm attacking the bad people at CTA, because we have 18, 19, 21-year-old black girls and black men as CTA starting off totally wrong because they've seen their black counterparts have a job for 5, 10, and 15 years. Same thing with the bus system. This is one of the manuals. It is kind of thicker than the other manual, because there's a lot going on. But my issue is this. How is it that a citizen can ride up and down the street with only himself in a car, don't have a seatbelt on to get a ticket, and yet your black American CTA operator that comes out of the 77th, 79th Street garage doesn't want to fasten their seatbelt, and they have the safety of all these passengers? They don't even want to turn the steering wheel up properly as they were trained. They want to do it the way they want to. Yeah, baby, this is the black caddy I'm driving down the street. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we doing everything we want to do. We want the white man, as they say. The white man gonna pay me for the job. Yeah, instead of trying to do what's right so that you can be a command officer. Because if we don't have any leaders that are mothers and fathers and protectors and vanguards of our community doing simple stuff like going to work and doing your job, our black kids are going nowhere but prison. And the only thing you're going to say out your mouth is the white man did it, the white man did it. But you know what? You were the first line of defense, and you're sick people to me. I do not like black Americans. I'm looking for the African American people, and when I do, they're sick of you too. Because at CTA, there's so many citizens. There's so many CTA personnel who work hard on the job every day, and they get slaughtered by black kids because the black guy over there let me ride free, hoe, B, dirtbag, dog. So now she's working her job, been on a job 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. She believes in God, the real God, not the fake God. She believes in the real God. She believes in a higher power. She believes in righteousness. She believes in justice. And yet she's asking, pay your fare, $2.25. F.U.B., jump in the turnstile, blacks. But we want to lie and manipulate the story. Well, white people do it too. White people got money because they're doing what's right. See, we always want to blame the other race. We want to blame the other people. We want to always do that instead of saying, you know what? It is the law that I fasten my seatbelt. I have a union behind me that says I should get paid this amount of money to do this job. And yet you don't want to do it. But yet it's the white man's fault when you get fired. You go home and you tell your kids, white man don't want me to work anyway. Wait. White man don't like black people. White man trying to destroy the white man. You voted for it. You voted a Democrat in who tells you to your face that I don't want you on the job anyway. I want all the illegal immigrants to come to Chicago, and we're going to happily invite these illegal immigrants in. We're going to help them fill out the paperwork to get a temporary work permit. We're going to do everything we can for them with your tax dollars, and you're saying, okay, because you're too stupid. So it starts with you saying, you know what, maybe this one man is on a crusade to save his people the righteous way. Maybe he's on a crusade to do something for helping his younger kids who are out there, which you don't care about because you hate your own people. CTA operators can tell you, they're dumb and stupid too, the black ones. But when they're riding up that 79th Street bus, they see them kids smoking marijuana. They see them getting up there high as a kite talking about, let me ride free, G. Let me ride free, G. Let me ride free, G. Some of them have been selling drugs all day. They have $200 in their pocket, but they're so selfish that they don't want to pay CTA $2.25. So they begging the black operator, which they know is a black one and not an African American, because they know which ones to pick on. G, let me ride free, G, let me ride free. But see, the problem you have is that the so-called white man, or whatever you want to say, or CTA, the powerhouse, they're still clicking those numbers. That technology still works, and they know when to raise the fares. That's why it was $5.75 not too long ago. Now it's jumped to a $10 for a day pass. And the only people suffering is you, the black people. Nobody else is complaining. It's the black people. And then y'all complain for 1, 2, 3 days because you have no power in numbers. Unless it's to block traffic to keep me from getting to work. You're not blocking the politician. You're not blocking the governor. You're not blocking nobody else. You're just running around lying to everybody. We're not going to vote Mayor Rahm in again because he closed our schools. And what y'all do? Ran and voted him in again. This is what we're talking about. So Any questions? I know I may have gone off to the left, off to the right, but it's a lot of frustration in the community when the west side and the south side, all of our young boys are growing up, all of our young girls are growing up, and they're doing everything on CTA but righteousness. They're not thinking about doing anything right because our black leaders, our black command, our black parents are not being African American on the job. And that's what this is about. My company has nothing to do with trying to lie, cheat, steal anything from anyone who's doing their job. My volunteers' job is to walk the platforms and see locks that need to be locked. My jobs and my volunteers are to see that the gate are secure. The things that are in this rule book is the only thing we're looking at. We're not trying to jam nobody up. We're not trying to do, only thing we're trying to do is say, black people, take responsibility. Black people, stop blaming everybody else. Black people, it could be your child the next time they get shot and killed. And then you're going to be crying, oh, I want justice. I want him to go to jail. But at least he'll be alive and your child will be dead. Only because you won't teach your child the simple things, which is when a police officer says stop, if you ain't done nothing wrong, stop. So CTA has to respect that they're not doing a good job either. CTA union's not doing a good job either. Nobody's doing a good job. But it takes responsible people who are going to admit that there has to be changes. But when it comes to black people in the black community on the south side and the west side of Chicago, nobody's willing to stand up and say, first we need to take care of ourselves. First we need to combat our own situations by telling our kids not to do things that we know are wrong. In our hearts, no matter how much you tell me you was raised this way, that's a cop-out, I don't care. I was raised in a poor neighborhood. I was raised just to be a Democrat. I was raised. But 90% of you people had a black and white TV. 90% of you people had a TV. 90% of y'all went to school with other cultures and races. And you know the truth. And this is what the program is about. It's about saying, you know the truth, accept the truth, and let's move forward. And the only way that's going to happen at CTA is I go out there and say, good job to those who are not on their cell phone. Good job to those who are standing outside of the box as per the order because they get paid. It's sad when I can go to a drug dealer and he beating the hell out of all the black boys that don't do nothing right. But yet if I take one of his black boys and gives him a job that pays well, he lets that black boy do everything wrong because he's saying, well, it's the white man money. It really isn't. You're paying 11 cents, 12 cents a dollar for a dollar burger. You notice that? You go to McDonald's and you order a 99-cent, you're paying 11 cents. That's your instant taxes that are going because you won't simply say to keep taxes down, to keep more people in our communities, to bring more growth in our communities. We need to stop the killing. And maybe some investors will come in and buy some property, except for the Arab who's on every corner charging you $6 for a box of $2 cereal, which you don't mind that either because you have food stamps. And since they know that you like to take your cash benefits off your snack card and use it for alcohol and cigarettes, they have no problem with that because they themselves know that they're hurting your situation and helping you get rid of your own people. I can go on and on, but this goes to prove to you that I'm telling you things that I know about because I've been to the south side, I've been to the west side, and this is what I do every day. As chairman, president, and CEO of my company, I am a leader. I'm a leader because I'm telling you that there is a better way. I am a leader because I know there is a better way and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help my black American kids become African American men. I want them to have honest jobs. I want them to have the ability to function. I want them to have the ability not to be on all these narcotics and all these drugs when they grow up because they don't have a self-respect. They don't have dignity. They don't have integrity. And you and I can work on that if we just accept that this program is targeted to get rid of the evil black Americans and we're looking for the African American. Now, the words that I have used may be offensive to you. I could care less because I'm using the Merriam-Webster's dictionary, the only dictionary approved in the United Nations. And since the United Nations says the Merriam-Webster's dictionary is the approved dictionary of all the countries that serve in the United Nations, then we'll use that book. I'm going to leave you again with the understanding that D.M.H. Public Transportation Watch is only out there to serve and protect the interests of making sure that our Black American boys can steer towards being African American men by doing what is righteous. Do not pick on CTA employees who are doing their job. Do not curse at CTA employees who are doing their job. Start treating your fellow African Americans with respect. And to the Black Americans that are older to you, start thinking to yourself, do I want to be in a position where at any time a person like Dr. Bey can walk up and write me up on a report and have me fired? Do I want to be on the job 1, 2, or 3 years, and then that day comes where the so-called white man walks up and says you're no longer needed because you have a lot of disciplinary record reports because you don't want to follow the rules, and it's all your fault. And you can keep on saying, no, it's not, it's Andrew's fault, it's Tom's fault, it's your fault for not getting him first. It's about cover your behind. And most of our Black American men can't cover their behind because the people who work at CTA, who are Black Americans and not African Americans, are allowing them to be overshadowed. 63rd and Cottage Grove, 3 and 4 in the booth, giggling all day, on their cell phones all day. And yet I have African American senior citizens who need to board that train that's about to leave. And instead of you saying, excuse me, ma'am, how can I help you? You say, screw that woman. But yet when you get 60 years old and 20 years, how angry you will be if you have to use CTA. How angry would you be? That flip side, you know how it is, how we love to treat people like garbage, and then as Black Americans, we tell people, treat me with respect, treat me with dignity. How am I going to treat you with respect or dignity if you have not taught me how to do it? I mentioned 63rd and Cottage Grove, 63rd and King Drive, 55th, all of the Green Line stops. I've been through them all. And some of the same employees that are there today know me from the past. And you know what? You can call me names, you can do whatever, but at the end of the day, CTA and the cameras side with me. So I would suggest that all of you CTA employees that are Black Americans, not the African American ones, because I talk to them, they respect what I'm doing, because at the end of the day, my theory is kind of correct. Thousands and thousands of Black boys, thousands and thousands of Black girls get on the CTA training buses every morning to go to school. And what do they see? Black American women and men sleeping on the job. Not the African American ones, but the Black Americans. The Black American CTA employee that lets all the kids ride free because, oh, I feel so, go ahead and don't think about growing and getting dignity and getting a job. Just, go on and ride free. But then when you get fired, it's, oh, well, I know the rules, but, I'm trying to make me some money to pay my bills, but I want to be on my cell phone, so I just want everybody to ride free. But that cell phone bill comes and CTA is the one helping you pay for it. So why can't you do your job at CTA? So if you have any questions, please by all means call D.M.H. Public Transportation Watch, 1-872-529-2009. You can also text that number. You also can call and text 1773-893-0515. You can fax 1312-488-2646. You want to send the email, I gave it to you, which is 433 West Harrison Street, pound 4908, Chicago, Illinois, 60680. I welcome any comments and suggestions. If you would like to email me at D.M.H.P.T.W, period, CHRMN, period, PRES, period, CEO at gmail.com. Very nice and long, but it explains who I am. D.M.H. Public Transportation Watch, D.M.H.P.T.W, right? .CHRMN, chairman, .PRES, president, .CEO, chief executive officer at gmail.com. And I'll be glad, you know what, if you want to be angry and vent at me, do it. If you want to donate your time, do it. If you would like to donate monetary, do it. Because I guarantee you there's nobody who's trying to do anything but aid and assist our young men and women who are Black Americans, be African Americans. And that simply means that we're going to respect each other on the job. We're going to know that if that CTA employee is telling you you cannot ride, then I, as a Black 14-year-old, shouldn't be jumping the turnstiles. In addition to jumping the turnstiles, I shouldn't be calling that employee a B or a hoe or all these other names. And I've been present when the African American CTA worker goes through hell. And when she goes through hell or he goes through hell, it's a misery. Because when you sit that child down like I do and talk to him and say, what's going on? Well, the so-and-so was here yesterday, he let us ride free. And so-and-so down there, he let us ride free. And so it's all about what the other CTA employees who are Black Americans not doing, causing this strife. But we want to blame everybody else. It's Trump's fault. Trump's fault that he's getting Black people jobs. It's Trump's. We're gonna go with that. It's Trump's fault. Trump's a racist because at 95th and the D.M.H.P.T.W, Black boys are jumping the turnstile. That we have to take police resources and put them at 95th. We have all these homeless Black boys on the Red Line train because Trump is trying to get you a job. See, we can go there with all this racism stuff because you just don't want to do your job, CTA employee. And all the CTA employees that are doing their jobs, thumbs up to you, respect to you, dignity to you, responsibility to you, integrity to you. These are the words that we as Black people keep on talking about. Oh, we built this country and all this, but every race of people know you're nothing. Why? Because you're liars. How can you sit there and tell somebody today who's 18-year-old Mexican, 18-year-old German, and you on the train smoking a blunt in front of all your family and friends, because they're all Black, it's only me, I'm the Arab on the train, and you're out there, it's Trump's fault, and the white man, and all this other stuff. This is what you do. And all the CTA Black Americans who ride the trains, they're scared. Hey brother, you see I'm in a CTA uniform, there's no smoking on the train. They don't say that, they sit there and let them smoke. Well, I'm in this uniform, but you know, white man don't pay me enough to tell a nigga to put a square out. So then this ignorance grows, and this evil grows, and the disappointment grows. And we all know the truth in psychiatry. We all know the truth in psychology. You let me do these little bitty crimes, you know, jumping the turnstile, you know, this little crime I'm doing. And then the next thing I'm selling loose squares on the trains. You let me do that too. And then you let me smoke weed on the train. And you let me do that too. You let me drink on the train, pee on the train, defecate on the train. Because one of my Black brothers down the street, I hate him so bad, he gonna clean my defecation up. So that's why we exist. We exist to say, hello, I'm here. Stop me, talk to me, say, hey, babe, you know, I think this can be changed. I think we can you talk about this on the video? Can you do this? Can you do that? Please, by all means, because I'm not here to shut anybody down. I'm here to get the suggestions we need to make things right because they are mothers and fathers who really, really, really are African Americans trying to get to work and they just want civility. Is that the word? They want tranquility. They want hope that there won't be the loose squares and the loud, and all these other things that's going on. There is a better way, and it starts with the employee. Now, if you've been wronging all this time and you finally want to say, look, I want to be righteous today, try it. See how it feels for the African American that you let down as a fellow CTA employee who didn't do your job. Just try it. Just say to yourself, I'm gonna not let anybody ride free today. Then when your old buddy comes and he churns on you like a dog, because that's who you were. You were a dog to him. You disrespected your job. So if you disrespected your job, then you're nobody anyway. You telling me you gonna let me ride free? What have I done for you? I'm just this Black guy who, can I ride free? Yeah. We friends over that? No, we not. Because as a dope dealer, my fellow brothers better bring back every damn dime, because if they don't, I'm going to shoot them, I'm going to kill them, I'm going to beat them up. See, that's the Black man for you. So do you think you honestly get anything out of this? You're not. So take the time to talk to some of these kids and say, how offensive is it for me to work on a job for 10 straight years and never fasten my seatbelt? Collect only fares that I want to collect. drive up and down CTA lines and talking to the girls all day while I'm on the job. Hey, baby, how you doing, baby? You know, that's offensive. You know, the right dad get out there and you'd accidentally get the wrong dad, and he hears that, he might beat your butt. But then again, maybe he won't. Maybe he'll pass the girl on to you. I don't know. This is what the problem we have in the Black community. We're not thinking about how we are integrating pain and suffering and disappointment. And we're causing all these problems amongst ourselves that we can solve. And the only way to go ahead and solve them is to take the opportunity to be righteous one day, and then the next day, and then the next day, because final closing is this. A CTA employee was fondled, and she's trying to blame everybody else about why the system doesn't work. But when you check her carefully, you find that it's quite possible that the reason he did it is because he was so used to you giving him certain things. Does that sound like me saying something that's improper or inappropriate? In the Black community, it's not really so. Because the average Black man does not do certain things without some sort of idea that he can get away with it. How many times did you let him ride free? How many times did you let him on the bus early? This is the questions that we are now asking. Because you're saying it should be more police, it should be more this, but you know what? If more of the operators than the line instructor on your route, all of you did your job, like don't move the bus until either the citizen sitting down pay for this boy's ride or he steps off. You got a shield now. Yes, CTA says, you know, we want bus service to move, but until you get the understanding that you're a human being and you can't let the passenger or the patron or the future customer, because we ain't put no money in there yet, disrespect you as a human being. And when the line instructor and the other operators start to break down the line, the individual starts learning the cues. You let me ride free, you let me ride for 50 cents, you let me ride for a quarter. So now that he gets the, ooh, I can ride for free, I'm doing a crime. See, I'm committing a crime. This is a crime. And you're committing a crime because you're letting him ride. You're stealing time. You're being employed by CTA to function and you're not. So you should be fired for not doing your job and he should be arrested because it's a crime. It's a petty crime. But he's escalating now. He feels that, well, since you'll allow me to ride for a quarter, since you're my friend and buddy, oh, buddy, ride and talk and buddy, let everybody else pay their ride. I don't think. But that day comes where you deny him. Now there's a real breakdown because it's you against him now. It's us against them now. And it's all Black American geared. So we have to start respecting that people like me who just sit back and watch and say, how is it that this is occurring? When you analyze all these Black CT operators who are doing all these evil things while on the job, just evil. Ranted, I thank you very much again. Please write me, fax me, email me. Let me know your thoughts. If you think I'm being honest, let me know. If you think I'm not, say so. Because at the end of the day, I know there's going to be some people out there who love to ride free, who don't mind. Look, I'm poor and I'm this and I'm that. You know what? Your poverty has nothing to do with anything. Why? Because if you got 2 hands and 2 feet, you can do something. There are brothers out there who've been to jail 10 times and they finally wake up in their head. They finally wake up. And when they do, some of them can take a pencil and can draw like it ain't nothing. Some of them can sing, but they do it the right way. The right way. They go get their license to be on CTA property. Okay? They go sing at the designated area and they collect their money. That's the righteous way. So I'm looking forward to more videos dealing with D.M.H. Public Transportation Watch. And if you need to know, it's just simple like this. We have volunteers who learn the rules, who want to work for CTA in the future. They want to stop the crime this way. They want to give back to the community. And they go out there and they see the CTA employee doing wrong. Since we know that Black Americans will attack and do evil things to those who will tell on them doing wrong at the job, They're not allowed anymore as years ago they were to put their names and be videotaped with me and stuff because believe it or not, we've been through hell with some of the Black American CTA employees who we've filed complaints against. All legitimate, all legal, but because the way we write them up, see, we know the rules, that they're usually terminated or they're severely punished. And so they attack us. So since the Black American attacks us, we now let them just write the report up. Hey, Dr. Bey, run number this, that, and the other, this what happened. It's written. Once it's done, level 2 gets it, where then they propose it out, sends me on a designated route after a certain period of time, and all those complaints dealing with the blue line or red line or whatever are put in piles, and then I finally get them. When I get them, I go out there and ride those lines and make those stops. And all I do is take my clipboard and I write the complaint. That's as simple as this is. That has nothing to do without me going out there trying to take your job from you or anything like that. I love my African American men and women out there doing their job. And I suffer along with them in thought. My heart goes out to them for doing the job that they do because it's not a glorious paying job. You know, someone get paid $40 an hour, and I know this, and you can too, because it's not like it's not on the internet. But the idea is still is that how is it that a Black woman or Black man can do so much evil by not going to work and doing their job? And then when the African American takes that person's place after 8 hours, they go through hell with Black American boys, jumping the turnstiles, cursing them out, threatening to rape them. That is a suffer. So I'm telling you as CTA union, I'm telling you as CTA employees, especially the Black ones, this is what this is about. It's about turning on yourself and accepting it's you. It's not the white man, it's you. Make the system better for all of us. When you know they're smoking marijuana or whatever the case may be, you stop that train, do what you got to do. You make the reports. Yes, I know you got to get everybody to work and everything, but you know what? If these kids were Black Americans learn justice, truth, peace, respect, dignity, then maybe they'll do like they do over in the tunnel. Maybe they'll do what they, it only is allowed because they know that you're not doing your job and they know you're capable of doing wrong. So I thank you very much for your time. And again, I'm looking forward to your comments and suggestions. This is about D.M.H. Public Transportation Watch. Its Federation of Law and Government does have other organizations, subsidiaries. And those organizations, subsidiaries will be having other messages as well.